Hey guys, it's Murs. Welcome back to Harpies in the Trees, where I review horror books with a supernatural focus. Today's video will be the last video that I will be doing in this apartment. I just wanted to be dramatic for like a second. So I mentioned before to you guys that we are going to be moving, but it is going to be a little bit sooner than I anticipated, like next week sooner. So we're going to be spending the next week getting ready and preparing to move, which is always fun. I hate moving so much. And we also need to get our new apartment set up. Most importantly, where I'm going to be filming, and that might be in the basement, actually. If it does work out in the basement, I am thinking about doing a set. So what my idea is to like make kind of like a fake wall and have it look like a haunted mansion, you know? So I can have torn wallpaper and some sideboarding and you know, hang up some, you know, cool, creepy paintings or whatever. I think it could be really fun. I just have to see if it's feasible to do and if I can actually film down there without getting yelled at. That will be very exciting because then I can start doing a lot more stuff. I can start doing lives. I can start doing things on the fly. You know, I won't have to like constantly clean up the room and then put everything back. It is a little sad in some ways. This has been my backdrop for 4 years or so. So it is going to be very sad to say goodbye to it. Getting everything in order could be longer than I anticipate. So if you don't see a few weeks of videos from me, please understand we're just trying to get everything situated in the new place. But yeah, a little overwhelmed. So I decided to do something that was going to be pretty calm and easy today, which is doing a book haul. I should be doing another indie horror episode, but production wise that takes a lot more longer because it's like a lot of different just parts to put together. So I thought I would do this today, just something easy and fun, and everybody loves book hauls. So let's go ahead and talk about these 9 books, but first be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and to like and comment. So a couple of months ago I had ordered this book and it finally arrived. I had to actually contact the place and they resent me another one. It just got lost in the mail. But it is Clive Barker's The Hellbound Heart. And yes, I have been reading it already. I'm almost done with it. I'm just not too far from the end there. And I've been wanting to get this for a while because I know that this was inspiration for the Hellraiser movie, which is one of my favorite franchises. I wasn't very happy with the sticker on here. There seems to be a few books that I got this time that have sticker remnants on them. This is about a guy who ends up solving this puzzle box. And the reason why he has this puzzle box is because he was promised that if he solved this puzzle box, that it would open up this whole entire new world of sensual pleasure. He is a man that seems to be addicted with carnal desires and kind of just pushing those boundaries. So he's very, very into this. And of course he does figure out this puzzle box, and what ensues from there is not exactly what he expected. Okay, so the next 2 books are by the same author. So I'll talk about the first one, which is called Censor. And it's by Junji Ito. And I really wanted to just pick up another Ito because now I'm just kind of becoming a little bit obsessed with his work. And like most people, it seems, you know, like just really digging his art style and his storytelling. And I decided to get another one. Now the synopsis for this is very, very vague, but I have to read it to you because it's just, I don't know, it's kind of cool. It says, a woman walks alone in the foot of Mount Sengoku. A man appears, saying he's been waiting for her, and invites her to a nearby village. Surprisingly, the village is covered in hair-like volcanic glass fibers, all shining a bright gold. That night, as the villagers gaze up at the starry sky, countless unidentified flying objects come raining down on them. The opening act for the terror about to occur. The inside of the book is really, really pretty. And what's even more cool is the inside of the cover here. See if I can do this while burning it. It definitely feels like there's going to be a cosmic, like horror angle here. I think that's his favorite, right? So when I was looking to do the book haul, I saw there were some more Junji Ito books, so I was just taking a look at them and I was like, oh yeah, I've seen most of them, right? But there was one that I had never seen before, never seen anyone talk about, and I got really excited because it looked just so different from his other stuff. And it's called The Cat Diary. And this actually glows in the dark. And I have to come into my closet to see if I can get it dark enough. Let's see. It is! Oh my god, that's so awesome. And this is a special edition, a special collector's edition. This book is a horror comedy, and it's based on these true stories about these cats that Junji Ito had when he was just newly married with his wife. And they are two cats, Yon and Mu. And he has this really cute painting of them in the beginning. And there's also like photos of the cats and everything, so you can like really get to see like who they are. And just some of it's so funny, like some of the stuff is just so hilarious, like he's holding the cat up like this, you know, like we've probably all done with our cats. Anyway, so they're just his stories where he kind of like imagines their personalities to be a little bit more you know, monstrous and kind of creepy that cats can be and everything. And I'm just so happy that I bought it. Like I started to read a couple of pages, even though I wanted to save it for Halloween, but I just couldn't help myself. And it was just so sweet and so cute. There's also interviews in here with the author. So this is really awesome. This next one that I got was not the cover edition that I wanted. It was a surprise when it came in. But it's the prequel to Charlotte Says. And I really hate this cover for a couple of reasons. The sticker is half torn and it's a sticker. And then the cover artwork itself is just, it's just really meh, you know? Like really meh. And it's also an uncorrected copy. So I wasn't happy about that. But I was really looking forward to this, so I'm still gonna read it anyway. Like I said, this is a prequel to Frozen Charlotte. This story is about a girl whose mother has died in a fire. She leaves her hometown and she gets a job at this all-girls school, trying to restart her life and forget about what happened, kind of. But she just becomes tormented by the memory of what had happened. Someone sends Jemima a box full of frozen Charlottes, and these memories begin to come back to Jemima about what really happened to her mom. I'm really glad there's a prequel to Frozen Charlotte because I just was really curious as to how we got that set up. Because in Frozen Charlotte, we have this old house that used to be an all-girls school, and there are these dolls on the walls and all these things are happening. So I get to find out all of the details here, which is very, very exciting to me. And for another creepy doll read, I picked up Annabelle. This is by Ruby Jean Jenson. This is a writer that's been around for a minute, like for a while actually. I don't know if I've read any of her books prior. Maybe I did back in the day and just didn't realize it. Her name is definitely very familiar, but this story sounds so fun. I'm actually going to be reading both of these for my Halloween reading, so it's perfect, I think. This story is about a little girl who finds these really old dolls in the attic and kind of becomes obsessed with them, like of course you would. And she starts playing with them, but then she starts noticing that they're doing weird things on their own. You know, they're moving around, they're whispering, and they're calling her Annabelle, which is not her name. These dolls are also obsessed with this little girl, but they think that she's Annabelle, whoever Annabelle is, and they will do anything, no matter the cost, to keep her with them. I really love this cover. I think it's just the vibe that I'm looking for. The only thing that really bummed me out about this book though was that there was like a bunch of writing on the inside. I don't know if you can see it. And then somebody like took some white out and, you know, just kind of corrected it, I guess. But, oh well, what are you gonna do? I mean, I love getting used books, so that just kind of comes with it. Man, Fuck This House is a book I've been seeing people talking about all over the place, but this was recommended to me by one of my patrons, Amanda. She said that I should read it, and that I can't remember if she said that it was funnier than she expected, or I think it was that. It was actually funnier than she expected or something. And so I decided to pick it up just because I'm curious. And I think the title is like hilarious. And I feel like it's really not said enough in like ghost, like haunted house stories. This is a story about a very average family that just moves into a new house and then starts experiencing weird things, you know, noises in the night and stuff like that. Seeing some weird things, hearing some weird things. The neighbors are kind of weird, like they're either non-existent or they're kind of odd to interact with. And the mom, Sabrina, who has already had this kind of difficult relationship with her son, is becoming more and more and more tested. Publishers Weekly said that this was a highly visual and cinematic world building. I like that, and I hope that's true. And also, if it's kind of funny, I think it's even better. Because I think in horror, sometimes humor makes things scarier because you have this moment of everything kind of feeling normal, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute. Now I have 2 books also by the same author that I picked up. You will not be surprised about it. So one is Loop by Koji Suzuki. This was actually like a library book, and it had like a plastic cover, and it has like this little sticker. It looks like a little man with a gun. And Spiral. So Spiral is the next one after Ring, I believe. So I don't want to spoil The Ring for anybody, so I'm just going to give you a pretty vague idea about what this story is about, because there is something here in the synopsis and it's kind of like a big part of the story, but it's going to spoil The Ring for you if you haven't, you know, read it yet. So let's just say that there is a character from The Ring here that sort of kicks off like a bunch of weird stuff that's going to be happening to our main character, whose name is Ando. And it's up to Ando to figure out why these things are happening and what do they mean. This was a little surprising to me because I didn't think that it was going to be a real like continuation of The Ring. I thought they were going to be all their own stories, but this one, at least Spiral, definitely looks like it's a continuation. So I like that. I will be happy to revisit some of the characters in here and just see like how is Suzuki really going to keep this going? You know, let's see. Now, not knowing what goes on in Spiral, it's hard to tell if this one's a standalone or it's a continuation of Spiral, but it sounds really cool. It has this little aspect to it that sounds very tantalizing. There is a man whose father has died from cancer, which kind of seemed to come out of nowhere and took his life very, very quickly. But it looks like this is not an isolated incident. This is affecting living things all over the planet. So it's some kind of incurable disease. And the son figures out that his father was working on this virtual reality project 20 years ago, which replicated evolution on Earth, and it was called The Loop. The project failed, and they were doing experimentation with organisms which stopped reproducing and began cloning themselves instead. And nearly all of the staff, all of the scientists that worked on this project got cancer and died. So his son ends up going to the Mojave Desert, just like way across on the other side of the world for some reason, because he thinks that the answers might be there. I love the premise. It's very fascinating. I like that. And based on kind of like how all of the like the scientific stuff, I guess, that's handled in The Ring, if they handle it the same way as in this book, which is just with all those really believable, interesting explanations and analysis and all kind of stuff, then this will be really, really fascinating. Now, the last book that I got, you know that I always have to grab me an Adam Nevill book. So I picked up this one. It's called Lost Girl, and this is different from the other horror books of him that I've read because it takes place in the future, like 2053 future. I guess that's actually not too far off now that I think about it, Ooh, that's really scary. So this story is about a man who is looking for his daughter in this future time period, and there is a pandemic. There is also climate change that's happened, so it's very, very hot, and it's pretty much brought civilization to its knees. There's starvation, there's war, there's drought, there's superstorms, and easy prey. All of these things create these perfect conditions for people to be exploited or murdered or whatever. So knowing Adam Nevill, this is going to be very harrowing. Like, he's not going to hold back. He's not going to hold back on the details, how bad things are, or just how, you know, terrifying this world is that he's created. So yeah, it's going to be bleak, I think. It's going to be bleak. This will be a good read for me because most of my books that I've read for him are more supernatural. So that was my book haul. I hope you found something here that you liked, and I will talk to you next time from the new apartment. Take care of yourselves, look out for each other, and I will talk to you next time.